I'm on a Zoom call with 3 members of a family living with type 1 diabetes, and there's a member from each of 3 generations. We've got Grandma Ali, she's 66 and she's had type 1 for 26 years. And Ali's been looping at BC Diabetes for the last week. So she's brand new to automated insulin delivery. But beside her is her son, Mark, who's 38, who's had type 1 diabetes for 22 years and has been looping with Tandem for the last 3 years. And also in the picture are Kelly and Wyatt. Kelly is the daughter-in-law of Ali, and her son, Wyatt, who's 7 years old, has had diabetes for the last 2 years, and he's been looping as well, also at BC Diabetes. Wyatt, hi. Hey, Wyatt, can you show us your sensor and your Omnipod? Okay, there's his Dexcom. Way to go. So it's the most fantastic manifestation of what I call the diabetes revolution. Mark and Ali, tell me about how your life was transformed by automated insulin delivery.
With my Tandem, it's been really great. It allows me a bit more freedom to do things without having to worry about being perfect, per se. I don't know, sometimes you eat a snack, you forget, and it kind of has your back. And even with low sugars and stuff, automatically suspend the basal and it catches a low sugar before it happens.
Wow. And Ali, is it too soon to ask you if your life has changed?
Well, no, because I just got my Dexcom Clarity email, and my sugars have 86% in range. I mean, I can't remember the last time they were 86% in range. It's amazing.
Now, the reason for the recording is to get the message out to everybody else. In this province, there are probably 25,000, 30,000 people living with type 1, and probably only 1,500 who are using one of the advanced automated delivery options or looping. So there's another 28,000 in this province, and then there are 10 times as many people across Canada. What's preventing the other 28,000 in British Columbia? It's mostly about money. It's expensive. It's about $25 a day. And right now in British Columbia, Tandem pumps are not covered. So the only reason that we can do it with Wyatt and with Ali is that we're using a non-Health Canada approved version that uses both the Dexcom and the Omnipod, which are covered by Pharmacare. But just because Pharmacare covers it doesn't mean it's affordable. We've got the Pharmacare deductible. About 50% of my patients can't go on any one of these versions of Loop because their deductible is too high. For the politicians to David Eby, who's my MLA, and he's also the Premier, Adrian Dix, the Minister of Health of British Columbia, we've got this petition out that's asking that the CGM, that the pumps, and that the insulin no longer be subject to the deductible. So that ultimately is our big ask. We can have lots of stories like the Saunders family. Mark and Kelly and Wyatt, any final comments?
I know myself, like I had the Tandem and the Medtronic. That was just because I always had benefits through my work. So it's imperative that we get more people on these automated systems, because it really does change, get your sugars in line, and if more people have their sugars in line, it's going to take a burden off the medical system as well.
Absolutely. The politicians know that they have to balance their budget, and all these devices are expensive, and ultimately taxes will have to increase in the short term to cover them. But we know that in the long term, there'll be savings for reduced hospitalizations, etc.
One of the reasons I'm able to be on a lot of this is because I work and I have extra medical.
You're working at 66, so that's past retirement age, Ali.
Yeah, yes, I know.
If I could share,
yes,
just
please,
before we,
Kelly.
as a parent of a young child with type 1, it's different. It's not me with type 1, right? It's my young son who, for the longest time, was hypoglycemic unaware. So if we didn't have the Dexcom, we had no idea until it was too late that he was having a hypoglycemic event. And we had a couple really scary ones, which is what prompted us to pay for the Dexcom. And that didn't come without challenge either, though. Like, if you ever want more of an in-depth conversation than what we're having here, like, I really had to advocate and push for Wyatt to get the Dexcom. They didn't want to cover it. My benefits didn't want to cover it. We paid out of pocket for a really long time. And with looping, I mean, game changer. I was so afraid to loop because I'm not a technology person. That's so far outside of my wheelhouse. And I went to the diabetes camp that's hosted for families on Quadra Island and got to hear from other families there who'd been working with your clinic that no, the BC Diabetes Clinic sets it all up for you. And as soon as I heard that, we signed right up. And I mean, same, Wyatt's gone from 50% time in range to 85% time in range within a week or 10 days of being on the loop system. And for us, my husband included, who couldn't be here right now, but the sleep, we're finally sleeping after 2.5 years of being Wyatt's pancreas at night. We are finally able to catch a break and get some sleep, right? So yeah, it's been a really positive experience for us too.
And Kelly, how so your plan, your family plan covers Wyatt's pump and Dexcom, is that right?
They do now.
All right. Well, thanks very much, and we'll broadcast this video, and we hope the politicians listen to it. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.